You mentioned American, you mentioned Jews. You visit the region often. I want to ask you on a personal note. You know, you visited Saudi Arabia recently, you visited other countries in the region. How was that for you? Like, how was it interacting with, you know, Saudi officials, interacting with ordinary Saudis, visiting the region as an American, as a Jew, as Dr. Eric Mandel?
From my experience in Saudi Arabia, it could not have been more welcoming. That was a trip I did alone, and when I would meet with the Saudi security people, there was 20 people in the room of high officials talking to me. When I met with foreign ministry people, defense people, they could not have been more welcoming. I did not feel anti-Semitism, and sometimes I pinched myself and I said,
right.
You know, can you imagine this have happened 6 years ago, before the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, was there? There's a revolution. I had a guide, somebody who was taking me, a driver, and he says, you can't believe it. We were there, we saw women in Riyadh. Now granted, in the hinterlands there's going to be more conservative, but we
right.
saw women dining together. We saw women driving. We saw women without hijabs on at night. It was amazing, and I was going any place I wanted. I was not being brought to places. Yes, this is a very conservative society, and they are the custodians of the holy places
right.
of Islam. They have to go slower in what they do because they feel they're the leaders of Islam in the world, which is why they're a little more hesitant about normalization with Israel, because they feel they have a bigger role to play. But as an American, I could not have felt more welcome, but they did feel that America had abandoned them.
Did they express that to you?
Yes. What they really expressed, and this is what I write, one of the things with Mandel strategies, what I'm trying to help is Americans understand when they deal even economically with the Arab world. They said we were disrespected. Now, if I bring this up, that's how the Saudis felt, that they were disrespected. And if you don't have trust, you can't make relationships. But then I go to the Congress, and the Congress say, look, those are the guys who did 9/11. Those are the guys who did Khashoggi. They have human rights.
Even in the current primary, Republican primary and other candidates, the name of Saudi Arabia is still mentioned in this regard.
You have a lot of people on both sides of the aisle who don't like it. But Saudi Arabia is changing. We need to take advantage of it, one, for the Saudi people on a human rights level to help them move along. But for American national interest, we need to have them back on our side. We need to pull them away from the Chinese. We need to pull them and the Iranians. Basically, that's